Hello again, you're watching Everard Junction, and this is another layout update for December 2013. And basically I'm going to show you a couple of things that I've been doing. Quite a major change which I've been working on over the past 2 to 3 weeks, and just a couple of other bits and pieces and ideas and what to expect next, really. So over here on the countryside section I've not done very much. I've basically left it as it is, basically because it's pretty much finished. There's a few bits I'll add to it, but for now I'm quite happy with it. The only job I have done over here is added some additional dropper wires to the main lines, particularly around the area of the tunnel. There was quite a big gap in terms of wire droppers on this side of the layout, and I noticed that I was getting a bit of power loss over this side, so I've decided to put some more wires in, and it seems to have solved the problem for now, so I'll keep an eye on it. So the area that has changed quite a bit since you last saw it is the area just over to my left, where the classic car workshop used to be. And as you can see, it's now turned into a new yard. So let's go take a closer look at that. Okay, so here we are at the new yard. And I made this primarily for 2 reasons. First reason was the scenery that was here I put down purely to just get something in this area. At the time it was all bare baseboard and there wasn't a lot to look at. So the original scenery was, you could argue it was almost temporary. And obviously now I've subsequently taken that up and replaced it with this. The second reason why I wanted to build a small yard was I wanted to create a small industrial area that was privately owned. Mainly because last year Hornby announced that they were introducing some ready-to-run Sentinel shunters, and I've always liked those, and wanted to create a scene on the layout where I could justify the ownership of 1 or 2 of those. Pretty much all the track work is recycled from either this layout or my old original layout I used to have all those years ago. It's pretty much Pico, but there's also some Hornby mixed in there as well. It's all code 100 anyway, so you can't really tell the difference. Over here we've got a left-hand medium point that was left over from this layout. That gives a nice smooth entrance to the yard. And then over here it branches into smaller points. These are all Pico streamline short radius ones, with the exception of these 2 actually. This one is a Pico set track, and this one is an old Hornby one that I've managed to recycle. So the idea is that this place is a scrapyard, a small scrapyard that mainly deals with cubed scrap. So when you see the scrap in the scrap wagons, and it's been compressed into those little cubes. I've been making some of those downstairs. So the idea is that the SSA wagons will get delivered here by a British Rail locomotive, and they'll get dropped off in this long siding that runs up here into the overgrown area at the top. And then the idea is that the Sentinels, which will be stored in a small shed I'm going to build over this paved area, they'll come out and then shunt their way to the main line, get permission to go on the main line, and then they'll collect the wagons, bring them back up into this head shunt, and then bring them back across into this area where they'll be unloaded and put onto trucks. This thing here is a unloading area. It'll have a flat top to it, and then I'll have a crane positioned on the top which will be used for unloading the wagons. I've made it out of matchsticks, as you can see. It looks quite good. It'll look a lot better when it's painted, obviously. I've also weathered all of the track, as you've probably already noticed. The track's nice and grimy, nice and old. Building this area has also allowed me to be quite untidy with the track and quite lazy with it. When you go into an industrial area, the track work, it's not going to be brilliant, and it's not going to be particularly well laid. And I like the appearance that you get from that sort of uneven and sort of broken short lengths of track. And so particularly down the centre there, it's not particularly straight, it's not particularly level. There's also a few places along here where the track work isn't brilliant, as you can see. But it's all been done deliberately. When I build a model railway, I always try and make sure on the main lines that all the track is as level as possible and everything runs really smoothly. I think I've managed to achieve that quite well on this layout. But there's something that's quite nice about having really crap track work, and having that industrial area down here has given me the opportunity to do that. I've done a lot of the ground cover already. We've got some static grass and lots of different sort of colours going on. As it's an industrial area, I've gone for a darker finish on the ground cover, particularly as we get over to where most of the activity will be. You can see it's all looking a bit dirty and run down. And then in places where not much will happen, it's quite overgrown, such as this area here. So here you can see we've got the beginnings of a fence, and that fence will eventually go all the way down here and then meet up with the point work, and then I might have some sort of gate going across, and that might be quite a cool thing to try and do. It might look quite good. And over here I've used very similar techniques to the technique you saw for me building the road in the last video. Same sort of thing here. I've just painted it a different shade. Tried to get a sort of darker, dirtier, more industrial look. There'll be lots of trucks coming in and out of this place. So that's the idea. This area is made using polyfiller again, and you can see I've just made a couple of places where it looks like it's muddy and the wheels have gone in. And then here is just sort of dirty waste ground. I might have a small portable office or something in this location. It might look quite good. Okay, so we move on to the next thing that I've done, and that is a fairly simple job. I have replaced this point. This point originally used to be a curved one. I'll just get it, I've still got it over here. It used to be a curved point. Some of you may have noticed that when the curve had a train going around it, it was very noticeable where the point was, because there was a noticeable tightness. The train sort of kinked in. So what I've done is I've got a larger radius point, and you can see now that the curve is continuous, nice and smooth, and there's no indication that there's any change in radius there, which was the effect I was going for from the beginning. It's just unfortunate that the point I installed originally wasn't quite relaxed enough. So this is a large radius left-hand streamline point by Pico, and the point it replaced was a curved point. And if we look, the curved point, despite its name of being a curved point, it's actually tighter, and that gave a noticeable kink in the curve, which did annoy me for a long time. So I've removed that and put in place this larger radius point. You can see I've reballasted it. Got quite a nice effect of the new ballast where it meets the old ballast, which again you would have seen in real life and in many places. And I've also weathered it as well, just to blend things in a little bit. Over here, not too much. I've extended the road off to the edge of the baseboard here, and I've still got quite a bit of tidying up. I've also got to tidy up the concrete in the TMD. I've added a bit of ballast along the edge. I'm going to dig this grass up and make the area look more industrial. So this will be more of an earth with some sort of grass in there, but not quite the thickness that we've got here. I was still quite new to static grass when I put the grass down here. It's very easily overdone, so I'm going to redo that. You can see here the difference you get when you don't go so mad with the static grass and just apply it sparingly. It's important to make sure that the colours underneath also show through, so I've not done too much. You can see the ground shows through the grass. I'll put a small shed over here. It's one of the Bachmann Scenecraft sheds. It's quite a nice little thing. I'm going to leave it like that for now, but I'm not sure if I might try and make it look like an abandoned shed. I might get some more shrubs and overgrown stuff going on around it, but for now I'm happy with the way it looks. Moving over here, I have painted the control panel. Just went for some simple colours, just to define what's going on. There'll be some other stuff added as well. This will also house the switches for various lights eventually. It all works. So yeah, okay, that took quite a while to paint actually, but it came out alright. Over in the station I've got 3 more Berco signals placed down. They're not functional yet, this is just to get an idea of where they're going to go. I've got some circuit boards downstairs I'm in the process of finishing up. I've also got 2 4-aspect ones which I finished waiting to come up here as well. Over on this side of the layout I've done a couple of things. I've got another signal installed. The one next to it isn't wired up yet, but I hope to get that sorted soon. Something else I've been working on is the bridge girders in the town scene. I've repainted them into a sort of institutional green colour that you see a lot of steel work painted in, particularly railway bridges. And I've been experimenting with the salt weathering technique to try and get the effect of the peeled paint and the sort of distressed look that a lot of these girders have. I'm quite pleased with the results. It's come out quite well. There's loads of videos on the salt weathering technique, but if you really want me to, I will do a how-to video on it. It's reasonably simple to do, but you will need an airbrush, or you can get away with also using spray cans, but you will need to spray the paint. You can't brush paint these. Here's a better look at one of the other ones. You can see they're quite distressed, rusty, worn out. It does look good. I'm very pleased with how that's all come out. So the stuff I'm going to be working on over the next few months will be this area here, the new scrapyard. I've got various things planned for this. I've decided what I'm going to do in this corner, so I'm going to get cracking on that in the new year. Start building up some scenery there. Only trouble is I'll have to find somewhere else to put all the stuff I keep over there. So we should hopefully have some scenery on that next year. Got a shed that I need to build to go over this concrete area. I need to get my arse in gear and actually get this motorway finished as well. That's been like that for a long time now. I haven't done much with that. I might add some more of these low relief warehouses in places as well. I think they look quite interesting. The countryside area, it's not a huge amount I'm going to do with that. I'm quite happy with how that looks. Might be a few things. Certainly some more signals will go up over there, I'm sure. So over here, got a few more things planned. I want to get this small area finished over here and also do the part 2 that I promised you of the how-to series I'm doing on that scene. I want to redo the grass over here because it's too thick. You can see I'm already starting to add some cable trunking along this side. I'm also going to redo the grass and stuff in this area because it's just it's too thick. I've also got probably a couple more resprays planned for the new year. I do enjoy respraying stuff. That's one of the ones I did earlier on, that Class 37. I've got lots of stuff that I need weathering as well. Most of the locos on the layout now are weathered. In fact, I think all the locos on the layout are weathered now, but a lot of the wagons and rolling stock aren't. I need to repaint some of these hoppers as well. They need to. I want to get some more of the rail freight coloured ones, but rather than just buy them, I'll respray the existing ones, I think. Next job up here is to do the gardens for the terraced houses. I've already got the fence and I've already painted it up. Just need to put it in place and start putting some of the ground cover in. Station building is still missing. I've got a station building that I'm working on at the moment. I think it looks a lot better than the old one, but I'm slow progress on that one. So that'll be something for the new year. As for rolling stock and the layout, I'm quite pleased with the sort of selection of stock that I've got at the moment anyway. But there are a couple of things in the not too distant future that have caught my eye. Hornby are doing a large loco liveried Class 56, although they've been promising it for about 3 years and it still isn't out. But hopefully that will come out eventually, and I'll certainly be getting that. I'll complement my existing 56 quite nicely. They've also announced 2 more Class 50s. One in particular, which is called Ajax, is one I'm quite interested in. Ajax was in large logo livery until the end of its working life. So at the time that you would have seen these 2 Class 50s in Network Southeast, you would have also seen Ajax in the beaten up, quite tired looking BR large logo livery. So I'll try and pick that up. Another project I've started is to repaint some of my Network Southeast Mark IIs and some of my British Rail Blue Mark IIs into the original Network Southeast livery. The original Network Southeast livery on coaches looks exactly the same as the revised livery. The only difference is the shade of blue. Many of the Network Southeast coaches never received the revised blue, and it was much more common to see an engine in the dark blue revised livery pulling a rake of very tatty, faded looking original liveried coaches, such as these Mark 1s. So I'm going to try and get those painted up into the original livery, and then I might look into mixing and matching the Mark 1s and 2s together in the same rake, which was another thing that you commonly saw in the Network Southeast days.